In a world where games merge with reality, Ting, a transmigrant, once shocked everyone with his hidden class, Immortal Cultivator, only to find it useless for leveling up. He possesses a life simulation ability that reveals humanity's destruction 15 years in the future. Realizing the coming doom, Ting secretly trains in the shadows to prepare for the war against alien races. The life simulation system activates, confirming host Ting 21, profession, Immortal Cultivator. He is stunned, unable to believe what he sees. He screams in despair, recalling 3 years of suffering. Ting curses fate, realizing he's not useless but actually has a golden cheat. His new world is one where games become reality, full of monsters and mysterious dungeons. All adults can change jobs and enter dungeons to level up. At that time, Ting awakened the rare class Immortal Cultivator. The news spread across the capital, earning him entry into a prestigious academy. But he soon discovered he was stuck, unable to level up. For 3 years, while friends advanced, he remained at Chi Refining Level 1. Yet through perseverance, he reached Body Training Level 6, still weaker than lower-ranked peers. After long waiting, he finally gained his own golden ability and eagerly took action. Ting activated the simulation, joyfully leading his team to hunt monsters day and night. In dungeons, he shone brightly, earning white-grade gear and great rewards. A poor junior girl felt ashamed for not affording expenses. She chose another way to repay him. After a night of passion, Ting began his cultivation. He practiced Pangu creation technique but made no progress in a month, realizing online methods were scams. In despair, he continued physical training. Besides training, he led his loyal juniors to hunt monsters for money while keeping distance. But 6 months later, that girl reached silver rank and cut all contact. Ting was hurt, realizing their bond was just mutual benefit. Instead of breaking, he turned pain into motivation for cultivation. 6 months of persistence pushed him to Body Training Level 7. Unable to graduate, his great trainer fame still earned admiration from juniors. Through effort, he amassed great wealth over 3 years. After 5 years, expelled from school, he opened a profession shop with help from Yu Ponzi. The shop thrived, making Ting a famous merchant until he learned his sister Neon An had died. The shock left him numb, unable to accept the tragedy. 3 years later, war erupted, and his friend Yu Yan died, breaking him completely. He refused to believe someone as skilled as Yu Yan could die so easily. Fear drove him to train relentlessly, reaching Body Training Level 9 in a year. Market turmoil made herbs scarce, leaving his goods unsold. He closed his shop and returned to his hometown. On a peaceful day, he looked up and saw something terrifying. A gigantic creature covering the whole sky appeared. Its gaze made humanity tremble in terror. Many powerful fighters charged to battle the beast. A fierce and bloody war erupted. Ting was overpowered and blown far away. What happened next? The beast devoured the great Xiu nation, and Ting died at age 36. The system announced his first simulation reward: choose between spiritual root talent or Body Training Level 9 cultivation. Data flooded in, leaving Ting dizzy as he realized the simulation had ended. The system displayed the reward options to finalize the simulation. Ting reasoned that with Apocalypse coming in 15 years and his simulation power, persistence could save him. Believing in that chance, he chose the Spirit Root Owner reward. Bright light enveloped Ting's face. He felt energy flow through his body, understanding what a spirit root was. He was surprised at how greatly it blessed him compared to ordinary people. Discovering the simulation absorbed energy from white gear, he offered a sharp dagger and gained 5 energy points. Next, the princess gloves were absorbed, granting 8 energy points. The dormitory door suddenly swung open. Yu Pang entered laughing, saying 6 new female students were waiting for Ting outside. He calmly replied they wanted to raid a dungeon and told Yu Pang to save his dinner. As soon as he stepped out, a girl greeted him. Ting reminded the freshmen of the participation rules. Each must pay 2,000 yuan, and all loot would belong to him. From afar, Wang Qingquan, a girl he once knew, watched uneasily. In the 10-mile slope dungeon, tension filled the air. A massive monster charged ferociously. Ting punched straight at the monster's head. The deadly blow sent it flying backward. His two juniors gasped, praising his strength. During reward sharing, they thanked him joyfully. Qingquan approached, her voice soft and hesitant. She whispered, "Brother." She confessed she was in financial trouble. She hinted at repaying him in another way. He smiled coldly, eyes unreadable. "Fine, follow me to the room," Ting replied. Inside, he sat upright, holding a small stick. When the whip fell, Qingquan trembled in pain. He told her to recite the slogan, "Prosperity, Democracy, Civilization." She awkwardly followed his command. Ting preached about guiding lost souls towards spiritual salvation. He emphasized obeying the law and avoiding sin. The following week, Ting worked non-stop taking requests. He repeatedly entered the 10-mile slope dungeon, madly slaying monsters. His fists carried terrifying power, piercing enemies' bodies. The female students crowded around to praise and thank him. He smiled and promised to cooperate again next time. Back home, seeing piles of money, Ting rejoiced he had finally saved 200,000 great Sha yuan. The system deducted 200 energy points, leaving 1,082, with plenty of simulation runs remaining. Begin the next simulation process. The talent extraction options appear. White type costs 100 points, green type 1,000 points. The system asks for confirmation. Ting spends 100 points, leaving 982, to extract a random talent. The result is a white talent business elite, enhancing trade insight and negotiation skills. He judges it doesn't boost combat, but helps profit in simulations. The interface states hell level up while introducing gear and skills to freshmen and planning business strategies. He advertises cultivation manuals bundled with gear for 988 yuan, and freshmen rush to buy. Though still at body training level 6, he earns 30 million in a year from trading margins. Gradually dominating the school's used item market, his assets reach hundreds of millions within 2 years. He establishes the Tarot Club as a business and opens a shop in the capital. 2 years later, he's expelled, but his thriving business keeps him comfortable. His reunion with Qingquan happens afterward. Ting looks surprised and sarcastic seeing her appear. Qingquan raises a knife, forcing him to join a mysterious organization by threat. He calmly questions what the group is and warns her not to underestimate him. Then he snaps his fingers for the next move. His bodyguards emerge from the shadows to assist. Qingquan charges into battle without hesitation. She defeats each opponent with cold precision. Her eyes and demeanor now show seriousness, no longer weakness. He realizes she has awakened a high-tier class, no longer the fragile girl she was. Outside, the dorm scenery turns chaotic. Ting reflects that even genius Yu Peng only reached the master level. Meanwhile, Qingquan advanced to grandmaster in just 5 years, proving her organization's power. She softly says she won't kill him because he once helped her. Inwardly, she resolves on something firm. Qingquan drops the dagger to the floor. Suddenly, she pulls him close and kisses him. Later at a hotel, seeing blood on the bed, Ting is shocked and admits he misjudged her. Afterward, he searches for Qingquan but hears she died, unable to believe a grandmaster could fall so easily. Ting believes the mysterious organization is responsible and vows revenge. He begins investigating but finds all traces of the group erased. At the same time, he keeps seeking immortal cultivation methods. After 2 years, though no results, his body reaches perfect body training realm. At home, he warns his sister Nianan not to enter any dungeon that year. She asks in confusion, not understanding his reason. He only sighs silently, unsure how to explain. The next year, the system reports Nianan entered a dungeon and died, leaving Ting numb. He starts investigating her death and finds clues linked to the Demon Suppression Pass dungeon. Despite searching everywhere, all information about the Demon Suppression Pass remained erased. He suddenly recalled that his friend Yu Yan also died at that same time. The bad news shocked him. He couldn't believe Yu Peng was gone too. He continued investigating and noticed something suspicious behind the death. Eventually, he found Yu Yan also died in the Demon Suppression Pass, along with many classmates that year. That dungeon was like a slaughterhouse endlessly consuming players' lives. Ting grew doubtful, unable to understand why so many perished there. Moreover, those with professions seemed forced into the Demon Suppression Pass, prompting him to simulate again to investigate. In the new simulation year, he sold off low-grade gear and stockpiled recovery potions. Thanks to his business skills, he became a tycoon among low-tier merchants in the capital. Yet he stayed cautious, knowing a catastrophe would strike the continent in 4 years, and began preparing. He tried warning the powerful, but no one believed him. All efforts failed. With no other choice, Ting decided to protect himself. He liquidated domestic assets, bought land abroad, and emigrated to America with his parents and fortune. There, the United States, a mighty nation with countless top professions, operated under a system entirely different from the old continent. Strange professions like Makazong were mentioned as unique classes. Roles such as werewolves or Western cowboys also existed in this profession system. A year passed, and as the 5th year neared, 5 colossal monsters appeared, forcing him to act to avert disaster in America. On the destined day, a giant demon covered the sky and sun over the U.S. Countless experts leaped to attack but committed suicide before its overwhelming power. Ting realized this might not be the only monster attacking the world. The system declared the demon's curse had wiped out all Americans. Ting died at age 36, ending the simulation. The reward options appeared: business talent or perfect body training cultivation. He extracted perfect body training cultivation for 500 energy, leaving 482, noting his power equaled only silver rank. Though business talent brought profit in simulation, it gave no aid in real combat. Meanwhile, perfect body training enhanced his limb strength, letting him gain gear and convert energy for simulations. His character panel listed current gear: green blood jade sword, green thorn armor, and green cloud belt. Ting wondered whether the fiery apocalypse 15 years later could be avoided. Unless human leaders already knew but couldn't find a solution. So they hid the information to prevent mass panic. Due to his immortal cultivator profession, his interface differed, only allowing cultivation-related skills. His current power exceeded average silver rank, yet remained far from the peak. He concluded he must keep improving his strength. A week later, he considered buying another simulation chamber costing 400,000 Great Xia Yuan. The system updated, consuming 300 energy, leaving 1,782. Simulation initiated and asked whether to extract white or green talent. Ting agreed to extract a white talent. Result: gained white talent Zibu Ming Mu, making him secretly pleased by its potential. He analyzed that this skill allowed 1 day of manifestation after death to trace the killer. If used well, it could gather intel on enemies, so he needed more simulation chambers. The story continued as many grew stronger. Within a year, Ting helped his sister level up and earned 20 million swiftly. He never forgot Qingquan, taking missions while often helping her level and sending her calming chicken soup. One day, Qingquan came reporting she had been invited to join a mysterious organization. She pleaded with a sorrowful face that moved Ting's heart. He hugged her tightly, begging, "Don't go, Qingquan." Alone again, Ting worried she might be forced or kidnapped into that group. Sometime later, he met Wang Qingquan again after her disappearance, utterly shocked. He stepped forward, asking where she'd been all these years and if she was all right. She turned away, blushing and avoiding his gaze. Ting closed his eyes, feeling confused inside. Then he comforted her, saying if she didn't want to talk, they wouldn't mention it again. His eyes drifted under the pillow and found a strange object. It was a book titled Eternal Spring Art. Ting rejoiced as if finding treasure. This was truly a valuable cultivation manual. But only half of the book was in his possession. Despite non-stop training, after a month he remained at Qi Refining Level 1, frustrated and determined to break through. He refused to give up, balancing business with full dedication to studying the manual. When exhausted, he wondered if the issue was a lack of spiritual energy. Eventually, he realized the method was fine but lacking a spirit root, preventing progress. But with time in this life limited, he decided he must convince his sister and Yu Peng first. Ting returned home to protect Nian An, who had just graduated. The siblings enjoyed peaceful, happy days before disaster loomed. Officials came announcing Nian An had been summoned to enter the Demon Suppression Pass dungeon. He firmly refused, saying, "No, I won't allow you to go." Nian An softly called his name with worry. Ting shouted, demanding she obey him as her brother. Then an unexpected truth appeared before him, leaving him stunned. He was shocked to sense energy from his sister had reached Grandmaster level. Before leaving, Nian An reassured him, saying she was already a Grandmaster and the Demon Suppression Pass was mandatory, she'd return within a month. She even reminded him to save some fries for her. A month later, news of Nian An's death in the dungeon shattered Ting. He tried persuading Yu Peng again, but failed once more. The potion market kept fluctuating, and Ting profited greatly from trading. Realizing only 4 years remained, he sold all assets and poured everything into seeking mysterious energy. A year passed, but his efforts yielded nothing. A mysterious figure suddenly appeared before him. He stayed alert and asked the stranger's identity. The stranger taunted, "Want to talk to someone about to crush you?" He understood and grew cold and wary. Attacked suddenly, he sensed the opponent's incredible speed. The foe's reputation showed at least gold-rank strength, making him cautious. A kick came dangerously close. He grabbed the enemy's leg, proving his body refinement was no weaker. The attacker was shocked, unable to believe it. He flipped and threw the enemy away. Dust rose thickly around them. He stayed alert, wondering if it was over. But the opponent had slipped behind him unnoticed. The foe restrained him, mocking, "You call that a master?" The enemy struck his mental weakness, wounding his spirit. A bloody scene unfolded instantly. The foe had broken. His neck snapped, ending his life. Before dying, he activated his special talent, Zibu Ming Mu. The system reported the talent had triggered it wasn't true death. He muttered angrily, wanting to see what gave that man the right to kill him. In his fading vision, he saw the stranger seize the Eternal Spring secret art once given by Qing Quan, likely tied to an organization. The man stared intently at the manual, deeply intrigued. He finished Ting off with his sword, an act of sheer disdain. Simulation result, he only lost vision. The talent remained active. Simulation ended. After viewing it, he swore in rage to destroy that man sooner or later. The system suggested a new white talent, die without closing eyes, costing 1,000 energy. He was horrified, realizing he might have truly died in the apocalypse by that mysterious killer. New notice: renting the Eternal Spring art costs 3,000 energy. It's a basic immortal method that extends life and speeds energy absorption. With 3,000 points, he could convert several 100,000 wen of white gear into energy. If he didn't choose die without closing eyes, he might uncover what happens after the apocalypse and who caused it. Next simulation, Eternal Spring could be scanned. Skipping it might lose the chance forever. System update: bringing back the die without closing eyes talent from simulation costs 1,000 energy. With 782 points left, he knew he must earn more and vowed to retrieve Eternal Spring next time. He kept making money for growth, luckily aided by many female followers. Before entering the dungeon, he asked if they understood the rules. One girl said she was ready and praised how cool he looked. He calculated. An average white gear converts to 5 energy points, while even the cheapest costs 1 to 2,000 wen. He needed at least that much money. With one swing, he crushed the pack of beasts. His followers gasped, praising his majestic power. They crowded around, begging, "Senior, let us join you." Meanwhile, he forced a faint smile. Ting trembled at the thought of profits that could make him rich fast. For his family and friends, he resolved to pursue the cultivation path. His eyes flashed with iron determination. The system notified, "You gained white talent, calm waters." Though turmoil brews inside, your appearance remains calm. Common term: list of statuses. Ting cursed, demanding a refund and calling the system a scam. The system ignored him, and the next year he led his juniors to grind monsters daily. Seeing their fair skin and curves, he was tempted yet kept a composed demeanor. When Ching Quan invited him to a dungeon, he subtly reminded her to keep distance due to the earlier room purchase. As before, Ching Quan again received an invitation from the mysterious organization. His advice failed. That night they experimented with something new. Ting blushed, recalling that embarrassing room purchase. Ching Quan nestled close, calling him by intimate names. News followed. The next day, Ching Quan dropped out, and a year later, he also failed to graduate due to weakness. He left school, reopened the Tarot Club, and continued trading old goods while waiting for Ching Quan's return. One day, as predicted, Ching Quan came back and left the Eternal Spring Art book. They spent a passionate night together. The Eternal Spring Art began absorbing energy. But Ting was disappointed, still unable to cultivate, so he kept seeking spiritual energy. The story continued. For a year, he couldn't stop his sister from entering the Demon Suppression Pass dungeon. A month later, he received news of her death. The following year, Yupang also perished. That year, he invested all capital in medicine, planning to save money and migrate to America. He avoided mysterious preachers and pointless talk. Then, Ting received a call reporting new information about spiritual energy. The report said in Jinling City, Jiangnan Province, a Grand Master possessed a treasure called Spirit Stone. He rejoiced, ordering gifts prepared and promising to go immediately. Ting drove off into the night toward the destination. Joy was written all over his face. He thought if he obtained the Spirit Stone, no other treasure would matter. Yet before the exchange occurred, that man's acquaintance had already found him. Ting was shocked to face that enemy again at the fateful moment. He died at age 33, his eyes destroyed, his talent fading with death. Seeing the report, Ting angrily raised his middle finger as the screen showed simulation over. The system displayed reward options: Calm Water's Talent and Eternal Spring Art. Without hesitation, he chose to learn the Eternal Spring Art. The message said bringing out the technique cost 3,000 energy, leaving only 182 points. Changchun Gong is a famous method of Qingyun realm. Even half lost, it can reach core formation and extend lifespan. Tu Jing carefully read each level, from spiritual healing to unity with nature, far beyond previous cultivation books. He began meditating, eyes closed, sensing spiritual energy flowing through his body. The airflow surrounded Tu Jing's body. He smiled at the energy in his hand, knowing immortality was meaningless in the coming 15-year apocalypse. With the technique and clue of spirit stones, the next simulation could let him truly start cultivation. But since spirit stone value was unknown, he needed to save energy. 800,000 credits only gave 4,000 points. Without stones, he'd be stuck. At that moment, Yu Biao rushed in saying Lao Liu was looking for Tu Jing. He scolded Yu Biao for being noisy and warned not to break the door. Yu Biao apologized shyly. Tu Jing's eyes lit up, asking Yu Biao to lend him some money. Yu Biao sighed about being broke, and Tu Jing pressed him to say how much he could lend. He handed his bank card, said it had 5 million, told him to spend carefully, and gave his birthday as the password. Tu Jing was touched by his friend's kindness. Yu Biao waved it off, saying 5 million meant nothing since Tu Jing was his brother. Tu Jing's question froze the air. What day is your birthday again? Yu Biao instantly regretted it and tried to take the card back. Seeing his anger, Tu Jing slipped away, saying he'd find Liu Shudong first. He was now in teacher Shudong's office. Meeting him, Tu Jing asked why he was called, and the teacher inquired about his cultivation progress. He sighed, saying no progress yet, but hoped to reach silver rank soon. Shudong mentioned academy quotas, implying his cultivation was too weak. Tu Jing saw the real intent and asked the teacher to speak frankly. The teacher sternly suggested he withdraw voluntarily to save the school's face. Inwardly, Tu Jing mocked the selfish motive and firmly refused. He smiled and politely declined, saying he wanted to stay for the good environment. He knew the academy still had many resources he could use. The teacher offered compensation if he agreed to leave. The 500,000 offer left Tu Jing shocked and conflicted. He further tempted him with a security job at his residence, saying it suited his current ability. Tujing recalled how the teacher once begged him to enroll, offering 3 million. He still held that grudge and felt insulted by the guard job offer. He politely refused, saying he wished to keep studying and cultivating there. Shudong grew angry, mocking that he'd become a burden and shame to the school. Tujing calmly thanked him and said softly, "The teacher's 500,000 was nothing compared to his friend's 5 million. Shudong was left speechless in fury. Just then, his phone notified that 4,000 white-grade equipment items were being delivered. He was overjoyed, thinking once he had the gear, he'd be ready for the next simulation. A week later, Tujing pressed start, determined to bring spirit stones out at any cost. The system announced he gained the talent gentle bald head, making others trust him despite early hair loss. Tujing touched his head and saw his hair still intact. But as he stroked it, handfuls of hair fell, leaving him stunned. Feeling his thinning scalp, Tujing panicked at the bizarre talent. The screen instantly filled with hair loss and scalp care ads. Products like hair tonic, black sesame powder, and herbal shampoo appeared nonstop. A mocking message said his thinning hair lowered his appearance value. Because of his looks, he gradually lost chances to meet female juniors.